Everybody, Creative Katie here. Welcome to my channel, Mixed Media Creations. Today we have a tutorial, 3 quote journal pages. So on this page, I have a gel print, and it was kind of the last crusty bits on this gel print that were done on a old Happy Planner. This is the mini size. Now, I really loved this. It kind of looks like I did some smooshing on it, but it was with the gel plate, but the lines were still visible and I just wanted to push those back. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take some gesso and I'm brushing it on and then rubbing it with my fingers, and it definitely is pushing those lines back. Now I could have avoided this had I gessoed the pages beforehand, but with this gel print, because it was kind of all the crusty bits, the background was very white, and so the lines were going to show. You could choose to leave those lines as well. Different times I deal with it differently. Now, because I lost some of it and I thought, oh, this is reminding me of smooshing, I thought, okay, I'm going to take a page from that. And I'm just taking some acrylic paint and I'm watering it down, and I'm just making a puddle on my craft mat and smooshing the blues and the purples, whatever was on that page. Remember, the bits that are on the page are there to either serve as a complete background or to give you inspiration for what you may want to add to it. And so you're kind of working with it. So there I'm just kind of putting the purple on. And again, this is a um, Tim Holtz glass media mat, and I love it. You can see on the right hand side the white part, that is for mixing paints, and it also comes with a craft mat that sticks on top of it, but I've just kind of tucked that underneath the glass mat because I'm not using it right now. So I decided that I'm going to add these feathers, and these feathers had the same kind or similar colors to the background. And the challenge here with the background was that I wanted to keep some of that white space. So these feathers were cut from a gel print as well and have been in my stash for a while. And you can see that I used bubble wrap to make some of the markings. And I'm just shading them with blue, introducing the blue from the background to the feathers, and just kind of highlighting and shading these feathers, just to make everything work together. And I guess I'm doing lazy man's float technique here. I'm not really following it, the letter of the law, but I do want to get it shaded. And I'm using blue, and I think I go back and add a little bit of black just to get a little more contrast. So the link to the glass mat, as well as any other products that I use in this video, in the creation of these 3 art journal pages, can be found in the description box below. You will not be charged more when I get a commission for this, but always check the prices, because sometimes they change the prices from when I first link them up, and protect your crafting dollars. So we're working in the theme of perseverance. This is the last video in the perseverance theme. And the quote says, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's going to be worth it. And I just realized now there's a word missing. Interesting. I'm going to have to go and piece a word in there. I'm not telling you, the word you. Oh no. Love these feathers, and somehow there's magic with when you have odd numbers. And I'm gluing everything down with some gel matte medium, but you can use Mod Podge. Then I'm using my fine line bottles and I'm just going around the quote. This time I left the quote in a block. Many times you've seen me cut it up and disperse it, but in this case I just liked it this way. I'm debating whether to take the fine line bottle and go around the outside edges, and I thought, okay, I need something there. But because the sentiment is so close to the edge, I didn't want to put another line. So I'm just shading with the blue Stabilo all pencil. You can use a watercolor pencil or Neocolor to a gelato to shade around the outside edge. And that brings us to the end of this page. Now, this one, you can just find a turtle template, and I just showed you one there. I've cut out this stencil template with my silhouette just by copying another clip-free clip art. And it's more the size that I want, but I just wanted to show you where it starts. And you could just cut out the outside edge to get the basic shape. Now I chose this background because the gel print here looks like a turtle shell to me. The colors kind of remind me of that, and that was made with shelf liner. And it's an absolute fabulous mark making tool. I use it right on my journal pages and I use it on the gel plate as well. And I'm just taking a mixture of blues, Prussian blue and light blue permanent, and just painting out the negative space. So just the turtle. The turtle's positive is going to pop, but you still will see some of the background there, and so it really works together. And I find for doing this, it works best if you don't have a very finicky shape, so not a whole lot of detail. And I use an angle brush, and I find that that works really quickly and gets in there into the curves and makes your work a lot less. So I do attempt to trace the shell part of this with my Stabilo All pencil and activate it with water. But at the time, I really didn't like the look of it. As I'm looking at it now, I'm thinking, it might have been okay. I think it got a little bit messy for me. So maybe I don't know what I would have done differently, but I inevitably take it, and because the Stabilo All pencil is water reactivated, I just used a baby wipe and got rid of it. And I thought, okay, for me, perseverance, the turtle and the tortoise and the hare, hang in there. That's a symbol of perseverance and persistence. So I have the quote, perseverance, stubbornness with a purpose. And here I've cut it up because I want your eye to go from the top to the bottom. And there you can see that the lines from the art journal, from the Happy Planner, you can still see it. But it's pushed to the back, so I'm okay with that. As I said, this is the last video, last 3 pages using the Perseverance theme, and I will be starting a new theme very soon. I'm in the process of getting the quotes all done, the sentiment pack, and the sentiment packs for the change, for Perseverance. They're all available for purchase. Just email me at creativekatie@gmail.com or leave a message here and I will send you the information on that. It's a digital file, it's a PDF file, and once you have the sentiments, you can print them off as many times as you like and use them for all your crafting needs. whether you're doing a quote journal specifically or just have an art journal on the go. They're good basic quotes. I'm just using the fine line bottle, and I've gone with white here just to make the page that little bit brighter, and I've outlined around the turtle as well. I'm not going to lie, this is not my favorite page, but every page isn't going to be your favorites. Part of my goal in doing the quote journal is to have those quotes, have the sentiments there. That is very meaningful to me. Part of it is also to use stuff in my stash, and part of it is just to play and experiment with different things. Now, this background, you may remember if you've been watching all my quote journal videos, I had leftover paint when I had used this wave stencil, and I just grabbed a page that was gessoed, and I did a whole bunch of the waves on there in the different colors that I had leftover paint, because I thought, okay, even it's a nice stencil, I have this paint, and that's we'll see if it can come into play. And it totally is. This quote says, "A river cuts through rock not because of its strength, but because of its persistence." And it just totally goes with the water themed background. So as you have your quote journal, or any journal for that matter, if you have it opened and you can paint in the leftover paint, you can use the stencil, you can put bits and bobs over time, and right here, the entire background was pretty much done. However, I decided that I wanted to add some texture to this, so I grabbed the wave stencil. This is a Crafter's Workshop stencil. And I take some clear modeling paste and I mix it with Prussian blue. And I take some cobalt blue metallic paint as well. Now, my idea was that I'm going to stencil this on a little bit of the cobalt teal and a little bit of the Prussian blue. The cobalt teal got a little bit less prominent than the Prussian blue. And I didn't quite get the metallic sheen, but I'll try that again. And I'm just putting the modeling paste through the stencil, and I'm making a wave at the bottom to kind of stand out a little bit more than all the ones in the background. That kind of gives a more distinct focal point, or at least that was my thinking. Do you have an idea for a theme that I could use on one of my months in my quote journal? Leave your suggestion in the description box below. And I just decided to kind of do a little bit different here around the quote. Don't have to do straight lines all the time. And then I have some close-ups of the 3 pages that I finished. And there they are. Stay tuned at the very end of the video. I will give some suggestions of related videos, a technique that was used here, or a supply that was used here to give you ideas for further use should you have purchased that or have that particular product in your stash. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you with the next theme in the quote journal. What will it be?